Hi, hello, and welcome to the video. It's another week, so that means another RuPaul's Drag Race, but Pedestrian, the category on the runway this week, was Rip Her to Shreds. Now, how in the world am I supposed to do a pedestrian look around that? I have no clue, but I want to try my best. I literally got some shreds from my paper shredder in my office. So let's just go ahead and get started. Gonna prep with the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. And this week we open with Lux being a little shady lady to Lucy, who of course thinks she deserved the win from last week, which I agree, she did really, really well. Lux is calling her out for her runway look, her bumpless bump reveal. Lucy kind of very matter-of-factly said, well, you couldn't really tell that she was showing. And Lux was like, girl, yes you could. It was a bump reveal. Like, she revealed a bump. You had no bump. That's what we were all thinking. Where's the bump though? So they're building this narrative with Lux and Lucy that they're kind of butting heads as we go into the mini challenge this week. I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie today, the E.L.F. Flawless Satin Foundation. I am in the shade Swan. Ron Swanson. Olan Johnson. Mini challenge is a Vogue ball. And I know there's been a little bit of heat online about this mini challenge, but I'm just going to take it for face value. I have seen voguing, and it's a fantastic art. For one, I could never, okay? I move much like a newborn baby giraffe. It was fun to see the girls get their groove on, you know? Everybody except for, well, Lucy, because wow, wow, wow. Which is funny because she even mentioned winning a Lollapalooza lip sync, but she wouldn't get Spice. So it's not that, like, brag worthy. It was Selena's turn and she kind of slipped and fell. She just rolled right into it, but at some point she really was just rolling around on the floor. My favorites were Mistress, Sasha, and Anitra. And Anitra pulled away with the win for the mini challenge. Taking my Don't Settle concealer from Kaja. So we get into the Maxi challenge, and the queens are to pull out a bubbly sparkling water because this episode is highly sponsored and brought to you by Bubbly. Whatever flavor they get is the partner they're gonna have. Selena is the only one that pulls cherry, which means, of course, she gets like a game-changing advantage randomly. And so Rue says she gets to either decide whether she wants to steal a queen for her partner, because it is two queens, one joke. They are, he mentioned Cheech and Chong, like funny duos. Think Penn and Teller. And Selena is tired of being in the bottom, let's be honest. So she's like, I know who's funny, Mistress. Even though she didn't do very well in this previous challenge, but she steals Mistress from Marsha. And leaves Marsha all by her little lonesome. I'm gonna contour with Nougat from Silk Naturals. Another just random freebie is for Anitra. Since she won the mini challenge, she gets to pick the order of the comedy show, which is a huge advantage, right? Because that means she can set her and her partner, which turns out to be Sasha, up for, you know, hypothetically the most success. After some, I'm sure, careful deliberation, she decides to put poor Marsha first, which is arguably like the hardest position to be in, opening a comedy show, because if you're not funny, then the audience has everyone else to compare to you, right? You kind of set the bar. And, you know, honestly, I thought Marsha did pretty well. In my opinion, she did better than some people that weren't in the bottom. You could tell she was extremely nervous, but she kind of just like made it known, like, I am nervous to be up here. I really thought her, when did you find out your entire community was lying to you? And she's like, I was on TV, like, that was funny. And then Anitra put Lux and Lucy next. It was really funny because Selena was like, a confessional, she was like, Lux and Lucy are together. She's like, wait a minute, weren't they just fighting this morning? And she like lost her mind at how hilarious that was. But Mistress called it 100% when she said that Lux and Lucy are the two thirstiest queens in the competition, and they want to win so badly that they'll do anything, including working together and being cordial, to win. Blush, I'm going in with Euphoria. Let's go party. Party. After Lux and Lucy was Anitra and Sasha. While preparing for this episode in the workroom, Anitra was dealing with a migraine. As somebody who has chronic migraines, I've had them for half of my life, I get the feeling of, oh my Rudolph, the red-nosed redhead. Oh my word, this blush is a little more pigmented than I had anticipated. Mistakes were made, so many mistakes. Sometimes multiple migraines in a week. I would not wish them on my worst enemy, and so it's completely understandable that Anitra could not focus in writing her jokes, and they really do like occupy your entire mind. It's all you can think about because they're so painful. But that kind of just left Sasha there to really literally hold the team up. It really showed when it came down to performance time because it was bad. Anitra was struggling. I think Anitra is funny, and her funniness comes from her physical comedy, the way she kind of like darts her eyes and does facial expressions, but she's a quiet funny, and I can relate because that's how I think I'm funny too. Like, I'm kind of quiet in real life, but you know, I'll throw a dad joke in there. Every now and then I'll say something that makes people laugh, and it's like almost part of the funnies because it wouldn't be expected from someone like myself. And I think Anitra is very much like that as well. Halfway through the set, you can see Sasha like feeling the room and understanding that their jokes are not landing, and it seems almost like she just kind of goes off the cuff at that point. And that's when it was much better. I get that she was really trying to hold Anitra up and get through as her partner on the stage, but at that point she was like, okay, you know what, I have these jokes that are funny, and some laughs are better than no laughs, even if that means that they're all from me. It's a competition, so I get it. So she had to do what she had to do. I'm going to set my under eyes with Chiffon from Silk Naturals. It's like a baby pink. After Sasha and Anitra, it was Selena and Mistress. Oh, I didn't even talk about Lux and Lucy. Oops, I'll go back to it. Anyway, Mistress and Selena were telling this story, basically how they were with the same guy. It was a snoozle fest for me, really. They got too into storytelling and less into jokes. That Allie and Michelle told them in rehearsal was to focus on the joke. Get to the joke quicker. Get to the chopper! No, get to the joke! Mistress is hilarious as a person, and it might have been a case where it was similar to Sasha, where she felt like she had to row with her partner, but she also said in the confessional that if Selena bombed, she was going to jump ship and do her own thing. She should have done that because she's much more hilarious than what they presented on the stage. For my highlight, I'm taking the Mochi Glow in Toy Alien from Kaja. Somehow my brain just totally glazed over Lux and Lucy, but they were really great together. They had a great dynamic. They did a lot of white jokes, but they were funny. The only thing I didn't like about their set is that Lucy seemed very casual, and her tone of voice was very conversational, where Lux's was like, how do you get your teeth so white? Like very infomercial almost, like, but wait, there's more kind of vibes. And it just seemed a little pressed, and they end up winning the challenge. And they deserved to, because their set was definitely the best. I'm going to take the Eden eyeshadow primer. This week they brought back the 90-minute episodes, and I loved it so much. I didn't feel like I was bored at any point, or like, okay, come on, get through it. I really enjoyed seeing Mistress and Selena bond over their culture, and hearing more about Mistress and her relationship with her family. She found a way to find support when it wasn't given to her from her own family. It's like, it's heart-wrenching to know that there are people out there who decide to never talk to their children or their brothers, sisters, family members because of things like that. Like, life is so short. I'm finding as I get older, I just don't have time for it. I don't have time for hate, and there's just already so much negativity in the world. I'm not going to bring any more into it if I can help it, right? That's my little serious moment of the video. On the runway, the category is Rip Her to Shreds, and Rue comes out in a dress that I want, okay? Dress is made out of soda tabs. You know how you open the sodas? They're all different colors. I was like, she looked gorgeous as always. I'm taking the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Obvi. This was on sale at Target for $3 and I was like, that color looks so cute for spring. Redheads and green. Name a better duo. On the runway, Marsha comes down first and she is in a ripped, like, homecoming dress. Lucy did a very similar look in one of the design challenges. And I wonder, did Lucy see Marsha's look and create a look around that? For the runway categories, the queens know them in advance and they pack them, right? So Marsha brought this to the competition. It's not something she made like Lucy's. So it's just interesting. I'm being like Lux here. If there's a pot to stir, we're gonna stir it. You know, no Williams-Sonoma is safe, right? It's gonna be a wash of this beautiful pastel green. I do like, however, that Marsha's mascara stains running down her face had glitter in them. You know, I noticed that detail. Overall, the look was just very meh. Lucy comes down and she explains it as like a Victorian vampire Rasputin kind of deal. I'm taking the same highlighter I used on my face. I'm going to use that in the inner corner and in this little scoop-de-doop here. She's got white face makeup on and a black lip, contacts in. She's looking spooky. I actually really enjoyed the corset, like the overall vibe she was going for, but each week I get really distracted on how she overlines her lips, and this is just a me issue, I'm sure, but she overlines her lips too far out above her lower lip, so they kind of look like a little bit clown-like, and she paints so beautifully and at times has looked so beautiful. And I get she was doing like a spookier look, but still, it was very distracting. She had fangs, so those were cool. Then Lux comes down with a recreation of Rue's, I think it was like 1986, when Rue was in a band called Wee Wee Pole. Wee Wee Pole. My southern accent really does not help me out. She looked amazing. It was a very, very good interpretation of that look. You know, a little butt kissing to Rue never hurts your position in the competition. It even made Rue emotional. So extra points to her. I mean, Lux just had an amazing week. She really does bring it every time she comes to the runway. Then we have Miss Sasha Colby coming down that runway looking like a better version of both Justin and Brittany. Denim on denim. Oh my word, she's like a early 2000s dream walking down in that ripped up denim. She's got diamonds everywhere. Sasha brings it every time. She's so glamorous. I just ran the How to Be a Redhead Finally Had Brows long lasting brow gel through those puppies. This is in Universal Red. I'm going to take my Haus Labs Cinnamon eyebrow pencil. Anitra follows Sasha. I loved Anitra's look. It was pink and a really, really dark forest green. I love the contrast of the colors. She explained it like a lotus. She looked amazing. She stomped it out on the runway as she always does. And truly she needed to after that challenge. Then Selena comes down and she is paying homage to her mother and her trip to the United States. I will say one just personal note about Selena is that I often get distracted in her runways by her acting, and this one she's like running around the stage, and I would like for a moment, maybe when she's just walking down, that she would walk normally so we could see the garment. Other than that, the homage was really touching and sweet. And then last but not least was Mistress, and she comes down looking like a baby doll that was, you know, accidentally that was in like a house fire. She looked amazing. I don't really think burned and ripped are the same thing in my opinion. So I didn't think it was 100% on the category, but she looked cute. Waist was snatched. So overall, not too bad. Spared you the mascara. I just used my CALIRAY Come Hell or High Water. Okay, now it's time to get into the shreddedness of it all. I'm going to take some Duo Lash Glue and glue shredded pieces of paper to my face. This one's blue. Should I do like... Of course it's sticking to my fingers. Because it's a 90-minute episode, we get to see the judges' critiques in their like deliberation, which wasn't the part I missed the most about the 90 episodes, if I'm honest, because it's kind of a rehash of everything they've already said. But I do like hearing the jokes between the judges. When it comes down to it, Rue's opinion is the really only one that matters. If I hold my head like this, they're straight, they're even. One is definitely higher than the other, but my face is uneven, so we're going with it. Some light blue. Nice, nice. Fine, fine. After the squirrel friends talk, Rue decides that Selena and Mistress did enough to be safe. I personally thought Mistress should have been in the bottom. And then, rightfully so, Lucy and Lux are named the winners of this challenge, which everybody kind of expected. They did do a fantastic job. Oh, you know it would be cute if I did lower lashes out of paper. I'm gonna try to do that. So in the bottom three are Anitra, Sasha, and Marcia. And we saw in the lip sync Lollapalooza that Marcia has some tricks up her sleeves, and she's actually a really great lip syncer. So Anitra brought it as well. They both did an amazing, it was an amazing lip sync. What sealed the deal for me was when Anitra leapt over Marcia as she was in a back bend. And Selena goes, "Free Willy!" That was my thoughts exactly. So I'll be here gluing paper to my face for eternity. This either looks really cool or kind of scary. I can't really tell. I'm going to add some white to the waterline. Oh yeah. And for some reason my hand just made a little white cat eye here. I don't know why, but I'm rolling with it. Another little wing on both outer corners. So this lip sync between Marcia and Anitra was absolutely hands down amazing, wonderful, fabulous. And I'm taking the Sun Chaser bronzer from Thrive in the shade Rhea because I needed some more color after all that pink blush. The buzzing sound, yeah, that was my mic scream of death. It's swan song, if you will. So now I'm going in with Peekaboo Neutral from NYX to line my lips. And I just want to say, of all the times there should have been a double Shantae, this is definitely deserving of one. That lip sync was definitely one for the books, and Marcia really held her own and did a great job. I'm just going back in with the same blush that I used and using that as my lip color, and it actually looks really gorgeous on the lips. It is amazing. So yeah, Marcia did a fantastic job, and I'm happy she could go away from the competition proud of herself. Here is the finished look. My paper tears or paper lashes, however you interpret them. Kind of definitely not pedestrian, but I enjoy the look. If you watched, let me know what you thought of the episode. As always, don't forget to check me out on my socials. Be blessed and be kind, and we will speak again soon.
And then I'm going to sing bye really long and obnoxiously, so be glad that you missed it. Okay? Love you. Bye!